Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Oh man, let's get us going here. You said what now?
I said Rico did his premiere today.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
It's a whole lot of stuff, bro.
Man, it's an interesting things that came on that probably gonna have I don't know if it's a direct effect on what's going on, but indirectly it's having a very, very eye-opening effect and stuff, probably on our campaign on in what Harris is doing, because her tour and stuff and everything this weekend with Liz Cheney is highlighting some things that about the democracy and our country and all that, and then all of a sudden they have this Novosek woman who's taking over for her husband who was killed in Russia, and she's making a circuit and stuff through the country. She was on Rachel Maddow and stuff, I think, last night, and also she went to Stephen Colbert's show and stuff last night. Her husband was killed. He died in prison over there in Russia, and he wrote a book while he was in prison, and he also had a bibliography of himself and that before that. So they've got a book out and stuff now that she's hawking and stuff, I guess, here in the United States. And it's just ironic and everything that they're doing this tour with Liz Cheney, and they're talking about democracy in this country and how Trump is becoming a threat and everything to democracy, and then having this lady come over who was taking over for her husband and stuff in the political party there in Russia that Putin was trying to keep down. He did not want this guy out there talking about telling the people in Russia and stuff about being free, about a democracy.
That was the same guy that was running against Putin, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't he the same guy that was running against Putin?
Yeah, it's the same guy. They finally
they put him in jail.
Right, they arrested him. Well, they tried to stop him they tried to blind him, I guess, and then they tried to poison him with some nuclear stuff and everything, uranium poisoning, and he still didn't die. So they finally went ahead and arrested him. He left the country for a little bit and everything, and then he came back to Russia and stuff and said, "Hey, I ain't gonna let this guy run me out of my country." And he came back, and he was still talking, doing rallies and stuff for democracy in Russia and everything. And they took him and put him in prison, and he finally died. And I think back in March he finally died in prison. But he had wrote a biography, a partial biography, and about his time in prison. And she's got a book out and stuff now that she's getting ready. She's trying to sell in the United States. And it's just ironic that really Stephen Colbert brought it out. Rachel Maddow, she kind of touched upon it, that her coming here and everything to this country at a time when our country is getting ready to be maybe to lose its democracy also at the same time that she is over there trying to fight for democracy there in Russia. So he even asked her and stuff about the election. What did she think? Did she think that we were going to maybe switch over and stuff into a dictatorial society and everything? And she gave a real nice answer and stuff. She said, I have the utmost faith in the American people and stuff that they're going to make the right choice. I thought that was a pretty good answer and
Did
stuff
you
on
get
her
a
part.
chance to see the documentary I sent you?
I saw part of it. They got about 3 or 4 of them out. I think I watched the one that PBS and stuff did. I think that was the one I watched. And they went back to when the wall in East Germany and stuff fell, and what Putin was doing and stuff and everything at that time. He was a KGB agent and stuff at that time. And then uh, I think Clinton came to Russia during the time that Gorbachev was getting ready to relinquish his power, and he had a sit down with Putin because he was trying to run for the presidency there in Russia at that time. And he came back to the United States and said he didn't like that guy. He said something was wrong with him. So he looked at him and everything, and he didn't think he was he would be a good president. And then when Bush came in power and stuff, I think Bush went over there and said something about he looked into his eye, into his soul, and he thought he was an okay person, and how uh, he came back to the United States, and after Putin did something. Oh, he wanted to he invaded. No, he didn't invade Georgia at that time. He did something. He invaded somebody, and Bush changed his mind about him and stuff at that time. He said, I looked at his soul and stuff, and he said, I was wrong. And then when Obama came into office and everything, Biden, who had been on the Senate a Security Council or whatever, he was involved in the security and stuff in the United States here, and he was a chairman of that organization. And he had told Obama at that time that he needed to stop Putin from going over there and invading Georgia. And I don't know if you remember that time. That's when McCain and stuff really got upset about them invading, coming into Georgia, and us not doing anything about it to stop them. And I guess Obama had went over there to Russia and everything to sit down with him, and he came back and understood that Putin didn't want to have anything to do with it because he was a black man. And so from then on, he put the ball into Biden's hand because Biden had knew him and he had been on the that important committee and stuff there in the Senate. Uh, I forget the name of that committee he was on, but he was chairman of that committee for a long time. Along the Democrats were in the majority, and when they weren't and stuff, he was the ranking member. But Biden had told him and said, "We can't let this man come over here and do what he is doing." And I guess they had a big situation room meeting and everything, and Obama overruled Biden and stuff and said, "Hey, we just going to put sanction on him and everything." And he told Obama and stuff to his face. He said, "You're making a mistake. That you cannot trust this man." So
Well, the
he had
one I
his.
wanted you to see is the slice full doc Putin and Trump.
Well, they did touch upon that when they
Yeah, but
got
this
to.
one right here is specific in what it entails. It goes back to the same thing that they did at PBS, because I saw that one too. But it goes into detail because they interviewed former KBG people. And one of the bosses that they spoke with, one of the generals, Putin was under this general, and he trained Putin. And they kept their eye on Donald Trump in the 80s. And that's when, he got that little deal with the beauty pageant and all that stuff. And they
Mm-hmm.
say, this guy we can use.
Mm-hmm.
And they specifically said that. Now, also, the guy said that we had, at this time, we're talking 80s, we had over 100 agents, KBG people, living underground as like a regular Americans in America.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many you think they got now living underground and living like regular Americans? Hundreds of thousands of them, probably a million or two. So then they did another one, Entanglement, with the FBI, another documentary of where the FBI has been befriending Donald Trump for years. For years. Because the entanglement was with the mafia. And Donald Trump had put so many mafia people in his building, as well as Russian people that live there. So people can say what they want to say, but I'm telling you, bro, this is what's going on. You got a lot of Russian people that's backing this guy, and you have a lot of FBI that's backing him too as well. And these people and a lot of these people are basically, I mean, lack of a better word, traitors to America. And the thing is, they arrested a lot of Russian people because they were doing a lot of money laundering. They knew that Donald Trump had been money laundering because what their biggest thing that they were selling was drugs. The Russians, and they money laundered that and bought all these high rises apartments in Donald Trump's name to launder it. And then when they want to sell it, they can sell it, and then they get their money legally. So Donald Trump was their money man with those contributions, and how he even started building a lot more. He got a lot of money from Russia. So
Well,
So the thing is that all this other little BS that they claiming that that he's a businessman and all that. All he is he's really a tool that they can use. That's all he is, a tool. And the American people, the FBI, the CIA, all these people is using. Now, I don't know what their bottom line is to keep on not putting out the truth about this man. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
well,
You can't be dealing with no enemy, and we know that Russia want to destroy us. Now dealing with the mafia, they do their own thing. They all about making the money and living a good life. Just like when he got that casino, he got money from Russia to get that thing built. And
well,
then he ended up selling it back to the mafia people. This is all in the documentary. Sold it back to the mafia people, and now the only thing they do is use his. He got a lot of money just to keep his name on there, and that's how he got a lot of his money. Every year they gave him millions and millions of dollars. So it's something that's going on with our government that we're battling and trying to keep up with China as far as bringing in money, and this is what's happening. Drugs is a big winner for America, and I'm telling you, it's about $20 trillion, probably $20 trillion that's being made off of all these different kinds of drugs and illegal stuff.
well, my take and stuff on this whole thing from looking at him and hearing what you just said, I don't, I got a slightly different take and stuff on it. And when you if as you're looking at this whole thing, you're probably right that they, in a way and stuff, Putin and the Russian mafia has something on him, and he is a tool for them to use when they need him to do things and stuff for them because they got something on him. So they're allowing him, just like most mafia folks and stuff do, the gangsters do. You can go out there and you can do your own business and everything. But when they need you, you better respond to what they have to say. And that's where he's at, because a lot of that money and stuff that we are seeing and stuff now, yes, he's probably getting some of it from the Russian mafia, but he's also getting money from other countries. You see, he went over to Saudi Arabia and everything, and he signed an agreement and stuff with Saudi Arabia and stuff to put his name on a huge property development and stuff there in Saudi Arabia. So if he was totally bought by Putin and stuff and everything, he probably, I don't think Putin would have wanted him to go to Saudi Arabia and make any kind of deals. He could not have been able to do that. But because he is Putin's B, and I'll let the audience understand what I mean by B. Yeah, most of the brothers probably would know that, but they use him when they get ready to need him, and that if he does become the president again and everything, then they're going to use him as what they want to use him and stuff for, but they still allowing him and stuff because they don't want him to get too deep into their organization and everything, because then you know what, he gonna because he's so weak, Ted, he gonna tell.
He
He gonna tell
already telling.
everything. He gonna tell it, but he gonna tell a lot more. If they let him get into their organization as deep as they want him to where he is a part of them, then Putin is not a dumb person. Trump is. He ain't very smart, and they know it. They know he's not a very smart person. And you don't want dumb people. You want to use dumb people. You don't want them in your group. You don't want them in your organization, because then he's a weak link, and they understand that he's weak. He's not a strong person. So if you got something going on, and you are a mafia person and stuff, you take weak people and you just whip them up when you need them. You call them up and say, hey, I want this, and you better give it for me and everything, and he's going to do it. If he doesn't do it and everything, then he's got trouble on his hands.
That's how
So
come he took all those security records.
right, he wanted to. They probably told him that they needed some information and stuff, and he took it, and he's suffering the consequences and stuff for it and everything. But they, in the background, they are kind of helping him uh, to stay out of jail as long as he can and stuff, so they can continue to use him, because the longer he stays out of jail, the more you can use him when you want to. And he's, man, I if I'm Putin and and he's a KGB agent and stuff and everything, if you remember back into the Cold War and everything, man, they had that Cold War, man, was a treacherous time and stuff for this country and for Europe and everybody else, that you couldn't trust anybody. And and Putin is from the old school. You don't trust anybody. You you use them, but you don't trust them. You use them, just like you just said, that they done sent agents and stuff underground over here, and they're allowing them to be American citizens. But when they want you, they're going to reach out to you and everything and say, hey, this is what I want you to do. And they have to do it because they are sitting there, and they are, and a lot of them probably have ingrained themselves in this society. And if you told somebody that he's an agent and stuff of the KGB and everything, a lot of their neighbors probably wouldn't even believe it and stuff. Oh man, no, he couldn't be, because they've been sitting there and stuff dormant for 20 years or 30 years. But Putin knows that they're there because he done kept a record of all these people and stuff out there. He's that old school type of person and stuff and everything. He ain't that new school stuff. He's old school. So that's the way he is. And I do believe that, yes, they do own him. He's they B. And when they get ready, they're going to get it. And they want to get an inroads and stuff into this country. They understand that because there's a lot of money to be made here in the United States. And those oligarchs need that money. They want to continue to make money. They want to continue to make them billions of dollars. They want to have a foothold in here, which they've already got a foothold in this country.
And then now you got the South Africans that's trying to take over.
Hey, everybody wants a piece of the pie, man.
Peter Thiel or Thiem or however you pronounce his last name. And you got
Peter
Elon
Thiel.
Musk,
Yeah,
and you got a guy named John Shaw or David Shaw. And all three of them are from South Africa, and they all billionaires. And they putting their little money into all of this stuff too.
He's the B, man. He is they B. He is they B. He is, and he tooting his little tail up all around them and everything, and giving them what they want.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna switch gears just for a minute. I sent you a text about the libertarians.
Yep.
And this guy named David Smith, just a little background on him. He claimed that his grandfather was a Holocaust survivor, so he's supposed to be Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a comedian, but he has his own podcast. Mm-hmm. On his podcast, he got almost 300,000 people that listen to his podcast. And man, you're talking about someone who is really preaching separation from the United States is this guy and these libertarians. They want all kinds of countries or a part of our states to secede in order to really denigrate or ununite United States. This is his whole thinking, bro. These libertarians, he claimed that he's a libertarian, but he's not a libertarian. But he goes on all the Fox channels and preaches this garbage. And, he's talking about really separating American people. And this is their goal. And, I was talking to a military guy today, and I asked him about it. He said, yeah, they're all up in North Dakota and South Dakota and up there, those different places. And this is what they live by because, number one, hardly no one is there, and they can buy 100 acres of land and live free and be off the grid. And so their thing is, hey, America, leave us alone and let us live our own life, and that kind of thing. We don't want to be ran by the government. We want to run our own life. We don't want to be paying no property taxes. We don't want to be paying no state taxes. We don't want none of that. So they just want to now the thing is, a lot of these people, in my opinion, they're European people. They're not regular Americans. Because I done already told you there's over 70 million foreign-born people in this country. And then they got first and second generation. You don't think they taught their children to think like them? I'm telling you, bro. We got over almost 200 million people in this country right now that's against United States. And they don't care about nothing else but themselves, and they collaborate with each other. This is what's going on right now. And a lot of people just sort of kind of, we're the United States. No, we're not. Because you got too many people, all these cells that's in this country. They don't allow some of everybody in this country to come in. And yes, we are a melting pot. Look at the Iraqis and look at the Arabs in Michigan. They talking about voting for Trump, bro.
Hey, let them do it.
The Palestinians, they talking about voting for Trump.
Let them do it.
So how you gonna be an American now? Okay, I understand. That's where your father and your mother and your grandmother and all that live. But you're supposed to be an American now. You're supposed to be having the best interest of America. And you got these people talking about, well, I don't care what Trump does. I'm voting for him because it might be better than Harris and Walz. Forget all the other Americans. They don't care about our well-being and what he said that he's going to do. Because they got their own little group. They got their own little 400,000, 500,000 people. And they all connect with each other. We're not black people are not a monolithic group, bro. We're
I
all
know.
independent.
I understand that, but we have there's got to be a way to it that you can use the information and stuff that you're getting out there. All these folks and stuff here in this country and stuff and everything, they're here for a reason. They come here because they want that American dream. And
If you believe
I
that,
really,
I got some
I
land
really
down the
don't.
street
I
for
really, they came here for,
Please.
they came here
They
for
came here to
dream.
destroy this country, bro.
They came here for that dream, the American dream, and they are here and stuff to enjoy that American dream. They would most of
They
these.
need to respect. They need to respect our history.
Well, they don't want to do
respect
that.
our history.
They don't want to do that because if you look back and stuff and everything at the Italian community, the Polish community, the Irish community, the Asian communities and stuff and everything, all of them, Ted, got their own heritage and they follow their own heritage. They have their own celebrations and stuff. They have their own time when they want to do things, just like the Irish and stuff. They got the Irish, what they call Irish something and everything, where they dump dye into the Chicago River and stuff and everything, and they got to keep their own stuff going on. So they have their own individualities and stuff and everything, but they are a part of this country. Now, as far as those folks up there in Michigan and stuff who talking that old crazy stuff and everything, yes, they probably saying that. Some of them are probably saying that, but I don't believe that it's going to happen throughout their community and everything because those people understand that where they came from, and there's no damn
the
way.
Radicals, bro. You got the radicals.
They are radicals, and I can't blame them. They are radicals. We understand that they are radicals, but they do not want to go back to Palestine. I can guarantee you that they ain't getting ready. They do not want to go back to Palestine.
And
they don't.
Irish people don't want to go back to Ireland.
And Irish people don't want to go back to Ireland. And the Asian folks don't want to. The Asian folks don't want to go back to China or wherever they came from. Yeah. And the Italians and stuff don't want to go back to Italy. This is their country.
They need to learn to respect the Black history and what we did for this country as far as all the changes that have been made. And then they need to respect us. And the same thing goes with the Jamaicans and the Caribbean people.
But Ted, we have to begin in our own community. We have to respect ourselves first before anybody will respect you. Now, when you were growing up and you became 18, 19, 20 years old, you didn't have to tell nobody, I'm a man. Did you? Nope. I know I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't have to tell anybody I'm a man. I carried myself as a man.
Yep.
Okay. That's what I'm saying now about our folks and stuff, the Black community, the Black people. We have to carry ourselves and stuff and believe in our own heritage. We have to believe what the heck is going on. We have to believe ourselves that we have a destiny and stuff for our people. But we don't see that happening in our community, that we are concerned about Black folks and everything, our own stuff. We are part of a ghetto or whatever, and we are just like mongrel dogs. But we have to have that with ourselves. If you don't have it in yourself, people are not going to respect that. I don't care what you do. We have to respect ourselves. That's my problem. Yes, those folks do have to understand that our heritage and stuff is what it is. When you look at those Jewish folks and everything, them people sitting over here in Canada, and you cannot tell them, Samagon, that anybody better be over there talking about Jewish people. You ain't gonna be talking about Israel because they demand their respect. And if you don't give them their respect and everything, they coming at you. But
well, let me just say this.
yeah, and if the other folks and stuff, they coming at our people and stuff, we're gonna back down. Oh, I don't know nothing about him. I don't got
Let
nothing
me
to do
say
with him.
this. Now, I
Go ahead.
understand what you're saying, but let me
Okay, go
just
ahead.
say this. I don't know what country I came from the continent of Africa.
I don't either.
Now, the Jewish people know.
Right,
The Italian people know.
right,
The Irish people know.
right.
They know their history. Far as I can go is my great grandmother. Where did we come from?
I came from Mississippi.
What I'm trying to tell you is,
my folks came from Mississippi.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
They done
We
came
don't have
up north from
but see,
Mississippi.
America is supposed to be a immigrant country, and a lot of immigrants are here, and they know where their people came from. If I jumped on the continent and flew to Africa, I couldn't tell you what country to go see if I can find my relatives.
Well,
And then you can do try to do a little
we
research, like what was that guy that did? He went back and found he went back 300-400 years and found his relatives. Well, we all don't have that luxury, bro.
Well, we've been interbred and stuff, Ted, since coming. And
there you go. There's another one. That's another thing.
And our foreparents didn't voluntarily come here. They were enslaved and brought here.
That's right.
So, and in that sense and stuff, once we was in that middle passage and stuff, we lost all of our identity in that middle passage. And the only thing that we have that we understand and stuff is that some of our parents and stuff and everything have given us some traditions and stuff and everything that was brought over from the motherland. It has been through generations of people, just a little bit. And we have to grab that identity and that heritage. When when you and I were going to school, Ted, there was no African American history courses and stuff to let us know about our folks. We had to demand that we got African American history studies and stuff in our school. We had to demand that we had that we knew where we came from. But I don't see that demand in our generation and stuff right now to continue that heritage that we have. I don't see it, and if it is there, it's in a very, very small way.
Well, that's because, like you said, we are intermixed. You got black folks that are what they call us now foundational Black Americans.
Right.
So
and we've been bred.
You got people that is married to Caribbean women or vice versa. You got people that's married to European women or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't be vice versa on that.
You got Asians and stuff that you've been and bred it with. You got Indians and stuff we've been inbred with and everything. So we have a hodgepodge of blood and stuff flowing through our bodies. And what do we do?
That's a good question because, see, the thing is, everybody else got reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got reparations. But yet still they won't because now they didn't wait so long, because I remember 30, 40 years ago they was talking about reparations. And then that could have been taken care of, and then forgot when Clinton. You remember when Clinton went publicly and said he apologized for slavery?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was no reparations, bro.
I know.
He should have did a whole track and had every American check their history and should have had it free so they can find out was there reparations due us because of my great great grandmother or father was in slavery or was enslaved. That's when he should have taken care of it. Because see that we went through too many channels here. They keep on saying inch by inch. And it's a lot of black folks that's tired of that inch by inch. You take an inch and then you drop us back 2 inches. And a lot of black folks is tired of that. And I can't blame them for that. But the bottom line is you still got to vote for your best interest. And then you train your kids up and those people that might be interested to get into politics. This is politics. We are a political nation as well as a capitalist nation. You got to still deal with the making the money as well as playing politics. And a lot of these people are doing that. That's the reason why we got more black people in Congress than we ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whoever thought that we would have, 2, 3, 4 senators?
Mm-hmm.
And now you got more running for Senate.
And you have a black woman who was a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it's like we're trying to do the changing of the guards, but we're not really trying to change things. We're trying to make things more fair. That's all, just fair. I mean, they always say, life is not fair. But, fair to me is justice. That means you should be giving people correct justice. Just like you corrected the Jewish Holocaust, the Asian mishap,
Uh-huh.
and who knows what else they done. So I'm just saying, but the point is now we got a revolution of dividing the nation. Because see, we black folks, mostly of us, work on merit, Ed. That's why sports is so competitive. Because if you're better than the next guy, you're gonna make it because you got skill, you got talent, you got ability. You go in the corporate world, I don't care how much talent and skill you got, unless you really know how to play both ends. You know how to do just enough sucking up, but at the same time, you're smart enough to do the same to get over and get a top position. That is not merit. So the bottom line is that how you deal with it or how you get over it or whatever is right now it's a slow process, and we got to keep on. One thing I like about Kamala Harris, you know what she says? You got to fight for it.
Oh yeah, and if you don't continue to fight, you have to fight, and continue to fight. And getting back to your question about reparations and what is due us and what is owed to us.
$62 trillion.
Let's get to be a reasonable solution here. Because we have to have you have to have a starting point that doesn't turn off the other side. When you sit at a table and you're negotiating, you have to come and start out in a reasonable arena. And when you start telling somebody, I want $56 trillion, what they going to do?
62
trillion. Turn them off. Turn them off like immediately. You turn them off. So when we sitting down there negotiating reparations, let's figure out a way that we can start making payments to that $56 trillion.
$62 trillion.
Well, we need to start finding out where we can start making payments so they can start making payments to that $62 trillion. So maybe they might be able to swallow payments better than they can swallow that $62 trillion. So if this is how we can be able to do this and stuff, I think that this would be a hell of a starting point. Because when they asked Kamala about it, she was asked about it about 2 months ago on some program. I forgot what program she was on, but they asked about reparations. And it seemed like she kind of did pull a Trump on him. She just didn't answer the question. But after I thought about it and I looked at the interview again and heard her words and stuff and everything, I think that she was trying to do what I am saying that we should be doing, that we need to get reasonable and everything with the people that we are asking for that $62 trillion. That, and she's probably doing her time in public office and stuff and everything. She has been probably hit with that question numerous amount of times and stuff. And anytime she was around those folks, and you start saying that, immediately most of them who were in power or who had the power to maybe start paying that reparations or seeing about getting it done, turn their back on her and everything and say, we ain't even talk about that. That's not even a starting point. So if you want something, you're going to have to go in negotiations and stuff and get reasonable and everything with your opposition party, your opposition, your people who are who are against this. And I think and stuff, Ted, that most folks and stuff out there know that even the white folks out there, people in Congress know that we are owed something. We owe them something, and I think we can put that picture and stuff down that we are owed something. Let's start out with saying you owe us, and see if they will be able to say yes, we do owe you for what you guys did. If we sit there and make a case for what we have done and stuff in this country and stuff and everything, we have a case that we are owed something. So let's start with the fact that we are owed something. Now let's figure out how you're going to pay me what I'm owed. And I think that's what was in essence, that's what her answer and stuff was to uh, the person who asked that question.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say, because we're talking 3 to 5 million people. I'm talking about in the early stages, even before this country was established in 1776.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to realize that we built this country.
Mm-hmm.
We the ones on our labor, and then they used our labor to make their money.
Absolutely. So we are owed something, correct?
Yes.
They owe us. So let's figure out how we're going to start getting paid for what we have done. And you're going to have to come up with a pretty good idea of what we got to do. I'm sorry, I have to turn the light on here.
Well, to me,
I had to put a little light on this subject.
to me, if you look at it, is that the first thing, and maybe this might be too much information, or maybe people will be scared to do it, or I don't know. But it should be some type of true way to find out where your heritage came from, and realize that because you are a lineage of enslaved people, you should be on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And we know there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be putting their name on that list.
Absolutely. So can we start out with what initially the government in 1864 and 65 gave to the enslaved folks. Can we start out with that 40 acres and a mule?
Well, I figured that's why I come up with $62 trillion
Okay,
with
let's start out.
inflation.
Let's start out with that 40
With
acres
inflation.
and a mule. And with inflation, that 40 acres and a mule, where are we going to be in the year 2024, 2025? How much is that 40 acres and that mule worth
Right now?
right now?
Well, you're talking,
One 40 acres and one mule.
if you're talking about 40 acres of mule right there, you're talking right now $200,000 an acre.
Oh, that sounds like a good starting point. I think that someone else would take $200,000.
I said an acre.
A $200,000 acre. Well, I don't know if that. Oh man, 40 and oh man, that's you talking oh man, you looking at what, $8 million, 40 acres. Well,
$10 million
I don't know.
minimum
I don't
per.
know if that 8 million is going to come out per person, but
Well,
but I think if you drop that 200 grand on a bunch of our folks and stuff, they take it.
of course,
Okay,
people are
man.
taking.
So I'm gonna take.
It's
Give me my
not
200.
enough. It's
Give me
not
my
enough.
200,000,
No,
and I'm gone. And I've been paid. And I
$200,000
think
ain't no
that
money, bro.
and I know it's not, but to some folks out there and everything, Ted, it's a heck of a lot of money, and they take it. I guarantee you, there's some of us. If you put it out there on that table to some of our people and stuff, I'm pretty sure a majority of our people, they take it. Give me my $200,000. I'll buy me a Cadillac. I'm gonna give me a Cadillac. Give me a Cadillac and give me some threads. Put some threads on me, some shoes. Shoot, I'd be fine. Hey man, that's the reality of the situation.
Oh well, I mean, you ain't lying. There's a certain
And they
there
will
is a
take that.
certain percentage of people. There would be about 30% of the people that would be satisfied with that.
They be satisfied.
But you got to remember, we're only 48 million strong,
Yeah,
and that's including children.
man. Shoot, you can get heck, man. You got 24 million of them who gonna take that money. Over half of them gonna take that money. I guarantee you that. Oh, and you're right. That $200,000, that ain't no money. And just like right now, if you put it in their hands, it'll be gone in probably a week, maybe. Every dime of it would be gone in a week.
Well, I give it a month.
No, I'm giving it 1 week. You got to buy the Cadillac. Cadillac costs almost $90,000 for a Cadillac now. You can't get a Cadillac for $90,000. Then they got to buy some clothes, and then they're gonna get out there and start partying and stuff and everything. We got to go to the joint, and buy drinks. It's drinks on me. That money's gonna be gone, bro.
Hey, don't forget, hey, $50,000 worth of weed too, huh? I guess.
Oh yeah, man, you got to have that.
Come on, bro.
Man.
Come on, there's a lot of smart black people out there.
That's why I said, but they don't accomplish 50%. 50%, man. That's what who gonna take that money and they gonna run with it. They gonna put it in their pocket and gone. I've been paid. Oh man, how we gonna make it, man? Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to us.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Think about this. There's about 20,000 of us, maybe I would say 1 million black people that are multimillionaires.
Correct. I can agree with that.
So, and $3, $4, $5, $6 million, middle class, upper middle
Mm-hmm.
class.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the 1%ers, but you're upper middle class. You're in the 10 percentile.
Mm-hmm.
So those people are doing just fine. And we're talking to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing just fine. And they're still making money. I heard this one guy who's supposed to be an economist. He said, if you're not making $600,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
you can forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
To live comfortable. To live
yes,
comfortable.
that's correct. So, because if you're buying a house or maybe your house is paid for, but you might be having businesses on the side and that kind of thing, and you got to run that, and you got to pay salary, but you end up you got $600,000 to work with every year. You got to pay all your taxes and all that. So you're not going to be living in the hood. You're going to be living in a gated community.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, but most people, like myself, just live in a regular community. People working people every day.
Mm-hmm.
They might be making 60, 70, $80,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and they think that's doing good,
Mm-hmm.
which people are content.
Mm-hmm.
They get a week or maybe 2 weeks if they're lucky, a vacation, and they can take their kids to Disneyland or wherever they want to go for a
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks. But that's it. So a lot of American people just want to live a decent life.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why I believe in stuff, kid, that those immigrants and stuff who have came to this country want the majority of them want to live a decent life. And they have to have a pathway to be citizens, because once you become a citizen of your country and stuff, most of the time, and majority of the people and stuff are going to want to help protect the country where they are a citizen and stuff of. And and I truly believe that. And I know, I'm like Trump said, there are some bad ones that come across them borders. There are some bad folks. I ain't gonna say they ain't. There are some bad ones, but I think the majority of them want to be able to come to this country and want to be able to live and stuff free and not have to worry about uh, being preyed upon, being taken granted, or told that they can come here to this country and they are never going to be citizens of a place where they have set roots down and they're raising their families and stuff up, and to have that dark cloud over them that somebody can come any day and disrupt and dislodge their family, take the ones who aren't citizens of this country and stuff, and take them and send them back to their country that they don't even have relatives and stuff back there anymore. They want to have that freedom so they can do that, and if they do, I think that we're going to turn out to be a heck of a lot better country and stuff and everything. And some of the things and stuff that we grew up with and everything, the freedoms that we grew up with, some of those things we're going to lose in this whole daggone thing. This election and stuff has really taught me personally and stuff that there's a hodgepodge of a whole lot of folks out there, Ted, that's you got some real weird ideas and stuff about freedom. A whole lot of them got some weird ideas about freedom, and to them freedom is is taking people and listening to what Donald Trump said. We're going to take these people, we're going to round them up, and we're going to throw them out of this country. And they're saying, that's okay. Throw them out. I don't want them here. And they believe that. And that is the reason why they are sitting there trying to vote for this man, because he's telling them some of the things that they want to hear. Some of the things that divide this country, they want that to happen because they consider themselves to own this country, and they really haven't, because none of us and everything were here originally. The only original citizens and stuff of this country are those red folks sitting on those uh, plantations, I think you might want to call them, and stuff and everything, where they have their tribes and stuff. They're living on reservations or whatever, but they the only ones who originally were here when the other folks and stuff landed. So they the only ones that have access and everything. They own this country. They can say, we own this country. This is ours. The rest of them are immigrants. This country was founded, Ted, on immigration. It was founded on immigration. People came to this country and moved here. So we are that beacon. And I think we can continue to be that beacon. And I think that after this whole daggone fiasco with this knucklehead is over with and everything, that beacon and stuff going to still be there. But we cannot think that if Kamala wins the election, that this whole narrative is over with. Just like we just said in her speech, we have to fight for our freedom. We have to fight for what we think is right. And that fight going to continue after November the 5th. Because these people that we're talking about and stuff now about wanting to come in here and to invade this country, they ain't going away. They are not going away. So we're going to have to be diligent and stuff with everything and realize that the price for freedom is fighting. And you're going to have to continue to fight for your freedom, because somebody is always out there ready to take it away from you.
It's an ongoing battle every day.
It's an ongoing battle. It's an ongoing battle. So we at the end here, Mr. Harvey. We done shot through this stuff pretty quick here. Final words.
Well, I'm going to say this. What you just said is correct. And the Orange Man is all about division. However, we already know that the country is tribal anyway, to a large point. You know we have people that gather around their own culture. And I think that we as Black people, I'm talking about Black people, in my personal opinion, and I think we've done that and trying to do that, but you have a lot of instigators that don't want us to do that. And that's white and Black people. Because whenever we have a function, 90% of the time, there's some riffraff going on. And we gotta suppress that behavior. You know, how we do that, I have no idea. We just gotta suppress the bad behavior. Because we got a lot of people that's out there doing good. And that's on both, and that's white folks trying to do good and Black folks, all other people. And a lot of people respect our culture. They appreciate our culture. They have capitalized on our culture and so on and so forth. But the point is, like you just said, we have to respect each other, and we have to get along with each other and work with each other. And how we do that, I have no idea. How we do it, I have no idea. I mean, it's just a step by step. You know, we have been taught to come against each other for so long. You know, I don't know how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, My
It
thing,
ain't in the church now. You know that, right?
yeah, my ending and stuff into this whole thing, to is when November the 5th gets here, and I'm pretty sure that Harris and stuff has a damn good chance, unless something really, really drastically bad happens and stuff. I think she's gonna be able to get over that hump. My thing and stuff is that there have been a lot of our representatives and stuff who have embraced what this man is saying, and they are defending him, and they are continuing to defend him with without any caution at all. And we are seeing this and stuff happen on the news programs. It's the guy on CNN. I forget the guy's name. Everybody got their own little shows out there. But you on CNN on a Sunday, and the Speaker of the House comes on, and also one of their Republican representatives, and he's asking them about the fact that in this man's speech, and he done two or three other ones where he did interviews with people and told these folks and stuff that the enemy of the state of this country and stuff are within, and they are the liberal representatives. And he picked out Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi. They are enemies of the state, and we're going to do something with them. We're going to put the National Guard on them. We're going to put the military on them because they are enemies within. They are more of an enemy to this country than China or Russia. And he turns around and asks them, well, he said that the enemy within are your representatives, your friends who were sitting up there in Congress and stuff with you. And they sat there, and the man, both of them, said an outright lie. He didn't say that.
Or he didn't mean it like that.
Or he didn't mean it like that. He didn't say that. He didn't mean it like that. And the man turned around and said, no, you're wrong. And he played it again. Said, now you tell me. And they played it again for him, and they still said the same thing. He didn't mean it like that. What the heck do we do with these folks who are in power? One of them is the Speaker of the House.
That's why you got so many messed up people on the outside.
He's the Speaker of the House, and he cannot acknowledge that man said that. If it was okay, then if Trump said it and it was okay for him to say it, then, and if you are backing him up, then you might well turn around and say, yeah, that's what he meant, and be proud of it. What do we do with those folks? After November 5th, what do we do with them? What happens to them? That's my ending thing here. That they defended this man, and they continue to defend him, knowing that, because if they believed in what he said, then they would have said it. Yes, he said it. But because they're trying to defend him, they turn around and absolutely sit there and ignore what he is saying. Are those the kind of people and stuff that we want to be sitting up there to protect our country, to protect our Constitution? They're going to sit down there, and they're going to sit back there and watch this man destroy this country. And they're not going to open their mouth. They have proven it.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing, man, to see this stuff in action, man. And I cannot believe that this is going on in this country at this time. That they are supposed to be. And the first thing they do when they walk through those halls after they have an election and stuff, when they walk into those halls, the first thing they do, every last one of them, to the man, stands up there and swear to defend the Constitution of the United States. They have a swearing in ceremony. All of them. I swear to defend the Constitution of the United States. Think about that, people. Think about that.